Are you well rested? Because things are going to get a little psychedelic during the burst about Pogpa's elucidation of the knowable. First, a quick reminder. Pogpa was Sakya Pandita's nephew and the religious teacher in the priest-patron relationship with Kubla Khan. First, the easy part. At the end of his essay, Pogpa summarizes the history of the Sakya order. Remember, this is the Buddhist order he is the leader of. As you can see from this slide, his lineage can be traced all the way back to the historical Buddha, the Tibetan Dharma kings, and then to the Khans. To be sure, Pogpa is not saying that he's related by blood. Rather, the line of Dharma kings, and therefore legitimate rulers of Tibet, go all the way back to Buddha himself, Songtsen Gampo, Trisong Detsen, and Rinpoche. Now the gnarly stuff. Remember when you read Trisong Detsen's conversion edict and I introduced the Wheel of Life and said, we'll discuss the outer circles later? Well, it's later. If you don't remember, here's a refresher. The image presented in this slide is called the Wheel of Life and is often displayed at the front of every Buddhist temple because it captures the essence of Buddhist teaching. At the center of the concentric circles are images of a rooster, pig, and snake, which respectively represent craving, delusion, and aversion, the three defilements of the mind. Pogpa gives us a detailed account on Buddhist cosmology, which means the beliefs about how the world started and developed. According to Buddhism, and explained by Pogpa, there are essentially two realms: cyclic existence, known as samsara, which is marked by suffering and a constant pattern of death and rebirth, and nirvana, which we define as the absence of defilements. As you can see at the bottom of the slide, the Tibetan term for nirvana literally means transcended suffering. Cyclic existence, or samsara, known as korwa in Tibetan, is formed from the verb to turn. It symbolizes the involuntary cycle from one form to another, in other words, life, death, and rebirth. Within cyclic existence, or the physical universe, are inanimate and animate objects. It is easiest to first define the animate, which includes all sentient beings. Sentient means that it is believed to have a conscience. Humans and animals, and a few other categories, according to Buddhism, have consciousness. So they are sentient and therefore animate. As for the inanimate, it essentially covers all that exists in the physical world that is not animate. Are you still with me? Because things are going to get even more obscure. But really, the next point kind of makes sense. The desire realm is the abode of most animate beings. Now remember, in Tibet and Buddhism, things we might not consider physical, like ghosts and demons, are considered animate, and therefore dwell in the same realm as people and animals. This realm is the desire realm, because regardless of what animate object you are, your actions are determined by desire. Don't worry too much about the form and formless realms, because they are reserved for special gods and goddesses. We need to focus on the third concentric circle that identifies the 6 categories of animate beings. Pogpa gives us a detailed description of each class of animate beings from pages 331 to 333, so I won't repeat them for you. Just know that the 6 classes are humans, gods, demigods, which is translated as titans in your text, animals, hell beings, and hungry ghosts. What class do you think is most desired and why? Well, it's the human realm. Now why? because they have the capacity, and only they, to practice the Dharma, which can lead them to nirvana. Okay, that was a lot packed into this very short burst. Don't dwell on the details. Think about the modern implications, especially when it comes to ideas about rebirth, violence, the preciousness of life, and the environment.